You are listening to In Conversation with Jenny and Mark.
Well, hello, I'm the Reverend Mark Adams from St Margaret's Church, Barking.
And I am the Reverend Jenny Adams from Holy Trinity, Prince Consort Road, South Kensington. And welcome to In Conversation with Jenny and Mark.
Yes, welcome, welcome. We are back. We had a
We
week off
are,
last week. It's all getting a bit frantic, isn't it, Jenny? So, sort of,
as
as you
you
can
may
see,
notice,
empty shelves if you're on the YouTube,
we are
because we're not going to
surrounded by
be,
boxes. We are
yeah.
packing to move on.
Anyway, so we're here again. It's good to be with you. Thank you for
Yes.
listening. We are continuing through our journey through Lent with the story of the raising of Lazarus, which is quite a long reading, so we're going to break that up between us. So, anyway, here we go. So, do you want to read the first paragraph, Jenny?
Yes, here we are. So what is it? 1 to 46,
Well, it's 1 to
45,
45.
1 to
Yeah.
45. Okay. Now, a certain man was ill, Lazarus of Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. Mary was the one who anointed the Lord with perfume and wiped his feet with her hair. Her brother Lazarus was ill. So the sisters sent a message to Jesus, Lord, he whom you love is ill. But when Jesus heard it, he said, This illness does not lead to death. Rather, it is for God's glory, so that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Accordingly, though Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus, after having heard that Lazarus was ill, he stayed for 2 days longer in the place where he was. Then after this, he said to the disciples, Let us go to Judea again. The disciples said to him, Rabbi, the Jews were just now trying to stone you, and are you going there again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours of daylight? Those who walk during the day do not stumble, because they see the light of this world. But those who walk at night stumble, because the light is not in them. After saying this, he told them, Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to awaken him. The disciples said to him, Lord, if he has fallen asleep, he'll be all right. Jesus, however, had been speaking about his death, but they thought that he was referring merely to sleep. Then Jesus told them plainly, Lazarus is dead. For your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him. Thomas, who was called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, Let us also go, that we might die with him.
So, I wonder, should we just look at that paragraph and then we'll look at the next one? Actually, it might be a more fun way to deal with it, because otherwise we're just going to get swamped with it all, aren't we? So, why don't we have a few brief thoughts about this and then we'll do the next two?
Okay. Do you want to take it back off our screen?
Yeah, okay, can do that.
Okay. I am just going to grab a Bible then. So what are your thoughts? You've obviously got a thought.
Oh, I love the human interaction in it. I love it. It's so good. It's just almost comical and yet so serious at the same time. It's like, uh, what do I mean? So yeah, we're waiting. We're not going. We're not going straight away. Which is, usually when you
Yeah.
hear something. I mean, I even this morning had to rush off to church because the burglar alarm was going off.
Yeah. No, you should just stay.
Yeah,
You could
you
just
just stay.
stay.
Yeah, just wait. I'm just gonna wait here. I love the sort of and then he does decide to go. They say, You're going back there. They're trying to kill you." And then he goes, Lazarus has fallen asleep. It's just like, and they go, "Oh, if he's asleep, he'll be fine then, won't he? He'll be all right." And they go, "Oh, it's actually it
Lazarus
relates."
is
Lazarus is
dead.
dead. He's dead. Okay, let's not beat around the bush anymore. I'm trying to. Although it's interesting, isn't it, that one of the things that struck me as you were reading it was um, that John has a theme, doesn't he, of people not seeing Jesus's metaphors. So we've had two examples of that actually in these
Yeah.
passages in Lent, because you've got Nicodemus being born again. What do you mean I've got to go back into my mother's womb a
Yeah,
second time?
actually.
And you've got the woman at the well who also says, "Yeah, if you give me this living
Well,
water, I'm going to
also
come
the
clear back to this
disciples,
well."
when they were the disciples, weren't they? When they came back from the well,
Yeah,
um, there was
yeah,
something about bread, wasn't there, in the middle of that? So yeah, he
yes,
does have a bit of a
yes.
theme of nobody
There does seem to be a bit of
understanding.
a theme that Jesus speaks in metaphors, and people just take them literally. I don't quite know what that's all about, really. I don't know. What do you think that's all about?
Well, I think people still do it. I think people still take this teaching and try and make it very literal. Um,
Very literal. Yes,
very
yes.
literal, sorry.
And with dangers in that, of course. Actually. Yeah. With dangers in that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I don't
yeah,
think
that's some of the
literal
things that
doesn't
I.
come in a scale, does it? It's like very literal. Um,
Well, I suppose not. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit binary, but
but yes,
yeah,
I actually really like um Thomas's answer. Let's go and
I
die
know.
with him. We'll off to die.
Yeah, well, if he's going, we might as well. If he's going to die, we might as well go and die with him. The other bit that struck me, of course, that is this, and I have this isn't my thoughts, but obviously there's a lot of debate around who is
Mm.
the disciple who Jesus loved,
Uh-huh.
and traditionally this is ascribed to John, isn't it? Particularly when you think about, then that's where the bit where Jesus is on the cross and Mary, his mother's there, and it's the
Hmm.
disciple who Jesus loved, not named as John. And some people have a theory that it's Lazarus. And
Oh.
I think it's quite interesting. And I'm kind of wondering, as you're reading it, it says, of course, and I've just got to find the verse now. It says, uh, Lord, the one whom you love is ill. And I don't think he's named as the disciple who Jesus. I don't think that this designation of one of the disciples as the disciple who Jesus loves comes before that. I think they're all after that. So it's just an interesting alternative theory around who is this enigmatic disciple who Jesus loved.
So my preacher last Sunday
Oh, right.
did
Yeah.
announce as fact that this was John of Jerusalem and not John of Galilee.
Okay. What, the disciple who Jesus loved?
Yes,
Okay. Well,
yes.
okay.
I did kind of, hmm.
Well, I mean, you can't pronounce it as fact because we don't know because
No.
John, the writer of the evangelist, has decided not to tell us exactly who this is. What does that make? I don't know why that makes a particular difference. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting point of uh, to reflect on.
Fair enough. Shall we move on?
Yeah, sorry, probably not a particularly helpful thought, but anyway, there we are.
No, we just rambled about that. Let's move on to the story. So,
Okay, yeah, all right. Um, well, nonetheless, the one who you love is ill. So it's, Jesus does feel incredibly close, doesn't he, to this family, to Mary, Martha, and
yes.
Lazarus. They're very important people.
Well, I think,
Um,
yeah. I mean, we've had interactions with them before, haven't we? So I
yeah,
think,
we have. Yeah, they feature quite heavily, actually, don't they? I mean, actually, Sarah, St Margaret's last Sunday was using the story of Mary and Martha in her Mother's Day talk. So anyway, there we go. Shall we? So that's a little bit of intro. Shall we move on to the next section then?
hmm.
Let's share the screen again. So when Jesus arrived, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, some 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to console them about their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went and met him, while Mary stayed at home. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that God will ask of him. Jesus said to her, Your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live, and everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? Jesus said to him, Yes, Lord. I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one coming into the world. Well, I guess this is in many ways the center point of one of the.
So the
Well,
big question.
can you have more than one center point of an area? Obviously, we've got a resurrection that's about to happen, but this is the kind of classic statement, another classic "I am" statement, isn't it, of Jesus?
So yeah. Okay, I won't get to the big question just yet. I think Martha comes into her own here. I always think that Martha has a bad press. She,
Yes.
because of previous stories, we've always kind of got Martha's the one that does stuff, and like Mary's the good one. She sits at his feet. It always feels a little bit like, oh, got chosen the better path. But uh, but I like Martha because like stuff needs to be done. She was just trying to get everything right as it should be. And here you've got her going out. I don't know. And her interaction with him just shows her faith. She's just a bit more practical about the whole thing. But yeah, I think it shows her really well. And of course, she is the one that just, where's the last sentence in that? I know he'll rise again at last day. I believe you're the Christ, the Son of God, who was to come into the world. I mean, that's very definite. I don't think we've got Peter saying you are the Messiah.
Yes.
But
Yes, and
actually, you know,
it's through this conversation, isn't it, that it elicits this I am statement. Um, you know,
mm,
yeah, I know that he'll rise again. And I suppose what's fascinating, of course, is that, of course, we're only, what are we, 2 weeks away now from Easter Sunday, aren't we? So kind of know where this
mm.
story is going, and this is in one sense a foreshadowing of that. I know that's something else you wanted to talk about, but Jesus gives this absolutely classic. All I am the resurrection and the life. It is a message of hope. It's a statement of faith. It's an extraordinary thing to say, isn't it? It's an extraordinary thing to.
Well, also, it follows straight on from if you had been here, my brother would not have died. So it's an extraordinary statement to make in that level of disappointment.
Yes, yes. There's a sort of faith and disappointment all rolled up together, isn't it? You could have
Yeah,
done something about this if you'd have come. Why didn't you
but
come?
still, I'm going to make this announcement that you are, I'm going to
Yes.
proclaim that you are the Messiah, the one we've
Yeah.
been waiting for. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an incredible statement to make in that kind of scenario, really.
Yeah. So what's your big question?
We're getting to it.
Oh, or in the next section.
I'll wait. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on then. So I think it's your turn to read the next section. I'll just put it back on again.
Okay. When she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary and told her privately, "The teacher is here and is calling for you." And when she heard it, she got up quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet come to the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. The Jews who were with her in the house, consoling her, saw Mary get up quickly and go out. They followed her because they thought that she was going to the tomb to weep there. When Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she knelt at his feet and said to him, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her also weeping, he was greatly disturbed in spirit and deeply moved. He said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Lord, come and see." And Jesus began to weep. So the Jews said, "See how he loved him." But some of them said, "Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from crying?"
Okay, are you ready for the big question now?
No, no.
Okay.
So
Are you
what?
keeping his suspense a little bit longer for that?
Yeah, we haven't got to it. I thought we had.
Okay.
Um, so that was translated as Jesus began to weep, whereas
Right.
there are some translations of Jesus wept, which is the shortest verse in the
It
Bible.
is
If
the
it's
shortest
Jesus
verse in
wept,
the Bible, yes.
but not if you put more words into it. It's not.
No, well, maybe they decided they didn't want to do that.
um, I love the fact that he cried. It just shows his empathy and humanity.
Mm.
And also how people just don't understand when you cry, that it might not be for the reasons that they're expecting. See how he loved him, but he could have saved him, but that's not what it's about, is it? It's sad.
It's some really there is some very deep mysteries in this passage, isn't there? Why didn't he go? And the accusations of both sisters
Mm.
have said the same to the faith that they have. Jesus
Well, he
knows
said
what.
why he wasn't going. He wasn't going, so he could do it.
Yeah, he wasn't going, so he could do it. Yeah,
If he got there too early, he wouldn't have been able to do it, would he?
he doesn't go, so he can do this. Yeah, which is just a lot of questions about that, really. But he knows where the story's going. He knows what he's going to do. But he still. So why does he cry then? Why is Jesus crying
I
here?
think it's empathy. I honestly, yes. So you must have come across, you must have this. You're quite an empathetic person, where you're just upset with the emotion, that level of emotion of everyone weeping
Yeah,
and
no, absolutely.
yeah, I think he was just crying. It's just
Do you think,
empathy.
okay, let's just play with this a little bit. So we've just said that he doesn't go because he wants to do this. Is there almost a sense of, I've got to do this. This is the way it's got to be, but look at what these people are having to go through.
Well, maybe, yeah, but that was empathy as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it
But
is. Yeah.
yes.
And there's something about the world. There's something about the way the world is, isn't it? That this is the way, that even, I don't know.
I mean, when those who we love cry, sometimes it's really difficult not to cry, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 Oh, it's huge. There's a huge amount here, really, that we can't possibly do justice to. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to reflect on in there. Just any of these sections, to be fair, you could preach a whole sermon on any of them. Do we
Yeah.
want to finish the story then? Because time's moving on. So
Okay. I'm just going to say that we have got Mary pretty much echoing the same things that Martha said there.
yes, yeah, they're both pretty annoyed with him. That would be fair to say, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. Jesus again, greatly disturbed, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying against it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, "Lord, already there is a stench because he's been dead 4 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. And Jesus looked upward and said, "Father, I thank you for having heard me. I know that you always hear me, but I have said this for the sake of the crowd standing here, so that they may believe that you sent me." When he had said this, he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet bound with strips of cloth, and his face wrapped in a cloth. Jesus said to them, "Unbind him and let him go." Many of the Jews, therefore, who had come with Mary and seen what Jesus did, believed in him. It's fascinating, isn't it, as we were going through that? You've had all those passages about, oh, I'm going to give us a sign, give us a sign. And sort of, here it is. I can see you've got your hand up, which means you've got, I think, is this the big question? Drum roll.
Did he stink?
Ah, okay. Well, I think that the grave clothes might have been a bit smelly.
Oh, you see, last time I asked you that, you were kind of so sure of the answer. And I said the big question is, did he sing a stink? I asked last year and you went, of course he did. He's been dead. It's like,
Okay, well, if I were to modify my answer slightly, I'm guessing his body's just been resurrected, so that's probably all right. But his clothes are going to be a bit smelly, yeah.
do you think resurrected bodies don't stink then?
Well, I have no idea. It would seem to me
Okay.
a rather, it would seem to me a rather partial resurrection if he still was a bit smelly from being dead. Why is this the big question, Jenny, out of all this?
Because it fascinates me. It never gets answered. Like, did he
Okay.
stink?
Okay. Well, I've given you my best answer. It doesn't say. I mean, certainly. I mean, I love the bit. It's Martha again, isn't it? Very practical. It's gonna smell. It's gonna stink.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's
Yeah.
not wrong. It's horrible
Yeah.
in there.
There's a stench. It's gonna be
And
really
I
horrible.
also think, and I'm sure I said this last year, it's the scariest day for Lazarus, isn't it? Because one minute you're there, look after my sisters. And the next minute you can hear Jesus's voice, but you're bound up, you can't see, you're in a cave. It's like that's gotta be a scary moment.
Yeah, you think you might have a bit of PTSD from that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Need
I,
some
I
counselling.
I don't think he's having a great day. I mean, he is because he's alive, but to be honest, he was dead, so he didn't know. So, so yes, I think that's a terrifying ordeal, to be honest.
So we've reached the end of the story.
Yes,
What are you taking from this final section?
it's a resurrection, but
Yes,
not the resurrection.
but not the resurrection. So Lazarus is not walking around now. He dies again.
Yes, but yes, I'm not sure I really see the point.
Okay.
I know. I mean, we always say it's a precursor to the resurrection, but like, I'm not sure that I really see what it's gained. Why has this shown the glory of God any more than any of the other miracles? Why did he need to do it?
Well, of course, John's gospel builds through a series of signs, doesn't it? And if you notice, John will I think he numbers the first two. Most famously, the wedding at Cana. This is the first of the signs that he did. And then we were reading it the other day, weren't we? There's the second one. I can't remember which one it is now.
Yeah,
But
there is. I
basically,
remember seeing.
it builds through these ever increasing signs before we get to the greatest sign, which is Jesus's resurrection. So I
Okay.
think they're not all numbered, but John kind of invites us to number them. So we're building up, obviously, to the climax of the whole story. So this is kind of I think it's an ever increasing crescendo of miracles that John then reflects on. So
Okay, so yeah, that would make sense, assuming they did happen in this order. But yes,
but it's the way John's written them. So I think that's, we can do with a narrative criticism. That's fine.
yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So you start off with a bit of water made into wine.
Yeah,
The
so I'd
rest
have to
of them
check back. And if
healings.
someone wanted to check back, you could check back. He numbers the second one, and then I think he stops. But we're
Okay.
invited. I think the idea being presumably that we're invited then to number them ourselves. And I think there are 7, 7 days of the week, completeness, all that kind of
But
that
it's
sort of thing.
also, you're right, an increasing.
An increasing crescendo of glory. So yeah, I mean, it's, we've done water into wine, we've done healings, we've done
Yeah,
5 loaves and fishes, we've done, and if you notice in John, what tends to happen is you then get a kind of reflection on each one afterwards, don't you? So
yeah,
after the feeding of 5,000, then that leads into a reflection about bread and the bread of life and other stuff like that. And I guess there's the living water and that kind of thing. So yeah.
There's always quite a bit of confusion as well, isn't there? Not just by how John writes, but actually, as we said earlier on, there's always a little bit of confusion of what's happening.
Yeah, so it's lovely the
Bit
way
of
all these
wordplay.
different themes wind into the story, don't they? I think that's what makes John's gospel so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how will you approach it on Sunday?
Well, I won't be approaching it on Sunday because I'm not preaching, but
What would you do?
I think if I was approaching it, I think I might be tempted to go with that thing we were just talking about. Sort of a bit of a macro thing, zoom out and sort of see this within the big picture, the big story that John is weaving, which is about to reach its climax. I think I might be tempted to do something with that. Yeah.
I think, that might be what I do. It's something different.
Yeah.
It's not
So it's
always
a little bit of a different angle on it, I think. And the human drama. I mean, you can't, it's just, the human drama that's shot through the story, and that I guess within God's purposes are worked out within human drama, within our stories, and where do we find ourselves in that? I guess would be a thought that I would have.
Yeah, I think I might pick up on the Martha's disappointment, the proclamation amongst her disappointment. I think that's quite important. But
there we are. There's some thoughts.
Mm.
We hope you've enjoyed listening.
Okay, good luck if you're preaching.
We will be back. I think we're going to be back next week, and then the Holy Week, won't we? And then we're probably going to take a break because we're moving. So I think we'll take a break and we'll pick it up again.
We could do next week.
Let's do next week and Holy Week, and then we're going to pick it up
We
again
might be a little bit later next week. You're away for a few days.
Oh yeah, I am on time. Yes. Anyway, thank you for listening. We
you.
will be back next week.
Okay. Take care all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to In Conversation with Jenny and Mark. Please subscribe for more episodes on all the usual podcast platforms.